Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my hobby YouTube channel. On this channel I chat about makeup as well as a little bit of fashion. But today I have a makeup related video for you, which is my usual fare. And today we are doing something slightly differently, something I've never ever done before. And it is a sort of mini declutter of what you see lying in front of you here. I have my just general daily makeup collection from which I select products from my Shop My Stash that I use, that I review. And then over time I have found myself just having products that I don't want to get rid of. So whenever I do my declutters, you will hear me mentioning things like, this is one for the makeup memory box, or my makeup museum. And these are all products that I feel that I want to hang on to because they're special to me in one way or another. But I was just looking at this the other day and I was like, it's way too much to be keeping just for fun. So what you are looking at right now, so let me talk you through it. This is my backup / back to Mac / products that I know I probably won't be using kind of thing. So this probably won't be getting rid of much what's in here because these are products that I'm keeping around for a reason. This one is the drawer that I use as my makeup memory box with things that I have sort of like memories with. And it all used to fit in just this one drawer, but then I decided to keep quite a few palettes. And that started taking up quite a bit of space. So I would like to ideally be able to condense this down, at least these two, to one drawer again, because I think that that's just a much better thing. And then I can use the drawer that I'll have empty for other things. And that's sort of what we're doing in this video today. So a bit of a declutter, a trip down memory lane. I have shown you the things that are in this drawer before. But yeah, I'm just going to talk you through it and we're going to declutter some things because I definitely feel that there are products here that I know I don't necessarily need to hang on to. So we're just going to start with this one in the middle because I think it's going to be easiest to sort of go through. So the thing I cannot get rid of by any way, like never ever, is this. This is the oldest makeup I still have. This is some of the first eyeshadow I ever bought when I first got into makeup. I have an eyeshadow here that I used to wear when I was in my teens, when I exclusively wore makeup when I was clubbing. I've got some fragrances here that I was gifted when I was still a child from like family members and stuff. So this, in terms of like sentimental value, this little Dior box holds pretty much the core of what happened to this. But like I said, I definitely don't need to keep all of this stuff. So that's why I'm keeping this. But now we're going to get to the things that I know I just need to cull. And I'm looking at this little stack here. And these are all either harder to find or no longer available Essence and Catrice stuff, and a highlighter from Annabelle. This was gifted to me, or I did a swap with someone from Canada, and she sent me these highlighters from Annabelle, and I really like them. This is in the shade Nova, and it's one of those like pinky lilac-y ones, but I've got other ones that I really like, so this can go. I've got other Annabelle highlighters, so I don't need to hang on to that. And then these ones, I mean, the only Essence highlighter that ever came out that I really liked was the Lights of Orient, and I always kept it around because whenever I wanted to do a full face of Essence, this was the only bronzer they ever did that worked for me. But it's time for it to go. The same for this multicolor blush from Catrice. This is in the shade Strawberry Frappuccino. This was my favorite blush for years. They discontinued it. I no longer wear it, but it can go. And the same for this Fairy Dust. This is one of the first highlighters I ever bought, and it actually has a peachy undertone, so I kind of reverted back to my favorites because as we speak, some of my favorite tones in highlighters are peachy tones, and this is definitely the culprit there. So those can all go because those are just kind of kept around because they're fun products, but they don't really hold any sort of true memory. Whereas this, for instance, it does. So this is a pretty much used up mini of a special edition of the Alien fragrance. I got it as a gift with purchase from Sephora back when we still had Sephora in the Netherlands. And this fragrance has been on every trip for years. So whenever I smell this, I am taken back to all of those vacations. So I want to be able to keep smelling this. So that's why that gets to stay. And this is also an OG for me. This is the original Georgia blush from Benefit. It's a lot darker in the new rendition, so that's why I don't own that. But this I am going to keep around because this is sort of like very early makeup days for me. So when I first got into makeup, this was one of my favorite powder products. So this gets to stay. That's sort of like throwback. This perfume, Hugo Boss's Deep Red, I can get rid of. This was the first perfume I ever tried and that I really got a good use out of. I think I only have like about this much left, but this is just not my kind of fragrance anymore, so it can go. This Christian Dior Cream Shadow is lovely, but it's a bit dry. I could still use this because I think it's still good to go. See? It still works. So I'm like, either I need to put this back into my makeup collection. Look at how pretty that is. Do you see that? It's so, so stunning. The thing is that I don't really use these kind of shades. So maybe I should just put it back in. What do you think? I think I'm going to put this back into my makeup collection because I do really like that product. And then in here we have some like more expensive things as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. I have some Anastasia stuff. I've got my The Balm Little Family here. Some Too Faced things that just have cute packaging. And you know what? This Illamasqua blush, it's really lovely. This is Naked Rose. It's such a stunning shade, but I've got so many of these shades already that's why I ended up decluttering this because I just wasn't reaching for this. So it can go. And this Too Faced bronzer, what's it called again? Snow Bunny. Oh, it looks horrible. But this was one of the first bronzers I ever bought, but it's very shimmer heavy. But this is very OG makeup for me, but I think it's just really, really desperately old. I would never use this anymore. I think it also has a really bad hard pan. And I have that Benefit powder to sort of take me back to early makeup days, so I don't have to keep this around. And that just looks atrocious. This MAC blush in Azalea Blossom, I just kept it around because it's got the duo, like the two-tone blush. But I think I'm just going to put it with my Back to MAC stuff, which is over here. So it just needs to go there because I don't use that. And then I said in my last declutter that I wasn't going to do this, but I ended up doing it. The Too Faced Berries and Bubbly blush. I mean, it's a stunning blush. It's got a lot of glitter and I didn't love it for that. And I kind of kept it around for the packaging. So I do think I want to keep this because of the fun packaging. And then I just have one of these like really OG, like fun, back when Too Faced was still fun kind of products. I said we would mention this later. So I kept the packaging that my Bite Beauty Lip Lab lipsticks came in when I made them at the store in New York. I mean, I haven't traveled in like 2 years' time, so to me this is a bit of a throwback. So I decided to keep the box because I thought it was cute, but why am I keeping a box? I don't know. And then, let me move this into view. So we've got some more cheek products. For some reason I hang on to a lot of cheek products, as you can see. And I've got some Anastasia things here, and I kind of kept them around as well as the Too Faced product for the pretty packaging. I mean, the bronzer in Rosewood didn't look great on me because it was too muddy, but I really like the packaging. But I'm like, I don't need to keep it around for the packaging if it's a product I'm never going to use. Maybe I can sell this because I literally use it like 5 times. And this is the Emrazy highlighter, which is too golden for me, and I actually have a highlighter from NARS, which is their Fort de France highlighter, which I feel does exactly the same thing, and because it has a sheer base, it works better on me, which is why I ended up decluttering this. And now I'm like, should I just like put this up for sale somewhere? Because if I were to do that, then maybe I can make somebody else happy with it. This Chanel blush, I wanted to own a Chanel blush, and this was a limited edition one that appealed to me. But again, this can go. I don't need to keep that around. This is another one of those OG like Too Faced candlelight powders. Who remembers this? I mean, this was all over, and this was before I understood highlighter, and this has visible sparkle. Again, I'm already keeping a Too Faced product for the memories. I have an OG Benefit powder that takes me back to when I first started wearing makeup. I don't have to keep this. But I've got these like limited edition Dior things here as well that I really wanted to own at the time. It's a blush, and then I've got the Glowing Gardens highlighter, and then I have the Transette collection limited edition highlighter. This is far too golden, far too dark, but I do want to keep both of these highlighters because those are just special to me, but the blush can just go. I didn't love it. And then I have a Jeffree Star product here, which I kept around because I don't really want to keep my Jeffree Star stuff around. But because the product was so unique, I was like, I'm going to hang on to it. But to be quite fair, I haven't thought of this product since, so it can go. The Balm products are not going to go anywhere. If you know anything about me, then you know that I love the Balm's cheek products. It's just that these particular products I don't reach for a whole lot. Something like Hot Mama I don't wear a lot anymore. Balm Springs was not my shade, and Balm Desert is a bit too pinky for me for it to be a bronzer, and it is too brown for it to be a blush. So these shades didn't work for me very well. But I do really love the products, and I don't want to break up my The Balm cheek collection because I kind of have this idea of perhaps doing some sort of like The Balm cheek collection video at some point in time. It's not in the cards yet. I haven't planned it out yet. But that's why I do want to keep these. I just don't want to get rid of these. And then over here, we've got a bunch of luxury lipsticks that I've gathered throughout the years that have all kept, I've kept these because they have stunning packaging. Now, all of these have gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. And this is the category I'm going to struggle with the most. Because to be quite fair, because of the gorgeous packaging, that's, like I said, that's why I keep them. So this Chanel lipstick, I mean, this shade was horrible on me. It was too sheer, it didn't work at all. But I love this packaging. So that's why I do keep it around. This I can now get rid of. This is Rouge in Love from Lancôme, and I believe it's quite a famous shade actually. I can't read the shade in the back anymore because it's gone, but it looks purple in the bullet, but it actually pulls a bit more pink on your lips. So I've always kept it around for that reason, but it's just time to go. I never think of that product anymore. This Chanel lipstick is Rouge Orage, which was my first ever luxury, more high-end lipstick. And I also bought this in Germany in my best attempt at German. So that's why that one always gets to stay, because of the memories. This Rebel Raspberry from Estee Lauder can go. I like the packaging, but I actually have another lipstick with this packaging that I still own. This YSL lipstick, it's one of their Rouge, no, Volupté, is that what these are called? Yeah, Rouge Volupté Shine, and I just love the packaging on this, so that's why that doesn't get to go anywhere. Same with the Snow White lipstick from Besame. I really like the concept of this, but I didn't love the formula, which is why it gets to go in here. Riri Roo from MAC. Who remembers that one? That one gets to stay. This one from Estee Lauder can go. This was one of my first ever nude lipsticks that worked, but by now I can get rid of that. These two YSL lipsticks I can get rid of. These are quite old, and I have shades that are very similar in MAC, which I prefer. So that's why I don't even know why those ended up in here. Probably because they were luxury and they get to go in here. So I have a weakness for pretty Dior packaging, because all of these are Dior. This is, I believe, the Dior Addict, like the first rendition. Love that. Then this is the newer rendition with this like holographic sort of effect. Want to keep that. And then this is the gloss. Do I need to keep that? No, that can go. I don't even love the shade. And this was one of their lip lacquers, and it just looks like the inside is just shaped like a lipstick, which I think is cool. So I want to keep that. And then this one I've actually always thought was very hideous. I don't even know why I bought this. So this can go. And then I have a Chanel lip gloss, which looks really pretty in the tube, but it's gonna go. And I also believe, yeah, this smells like fireworks by now, so that means it definitely has expired. Before, the drawer was pretty much full, and now it's pretty much empty. So let me move some drawers around. So this is what we're gonna fill back up in a minute. This is my backup drawer, and there's actually only a few backups in here because I don't keep a lot of backups. These are the only backups I have. I have a MAC stroke rib in here, which is a full size that I bought after trying a travel size. Love the product, but I still have a mini in my stash. So when the mini is gone, I'm gonna put this in my stash. So it's a bit of a backup. And then I have my Naked 2 Urban Decay palette for when I hit pan on my original Naked 2, and I bought a backup of the Catrice 5 in a box modern smoky look because they already discontinued it. It's my favorite. And then everything else that's in here are MAC products that I want to back to MAC. The problem is that the country I live in doesn't have a back to MAC program. And because I haven't been able to travel, I haven't been able to take these to a country with me where I can exchange these for some lipsticks. Over here, I'm not sure what to do with these products because I didn't really use them. In case you're unfamiliar with the content that I like to do on my channel, I come on here every month and I do a full face of a given brand. And I thought it could have been fun to do a full face of Primark makeup. So I went to the store, I bought some products, and now that I've swatched them for the first time, I know it's a disaster waiting to happen. And I know I won't get the use out of that video, not the use out of these products at all. All of this was super subpar and it doesn't live up to my expectations. So I actually want to get rid of all of these. So that's what I'm gonna do. So normally I would save these kind of products for my actual declutters that I do every spring, but I just wanted to update you already and say Primark makeup, if you can get your hands on it, it's no good. The shade ranges is shoddy. Their offerings are really weird. I mean, the lipstick fell out. The lipstick just fell out when I tried swatching it. And it all smells horrible. It just smells like really cheap, terrible makeup. I mean, everything was too orange. It was a mess. It was a mess. Oops. So this is the backup drawer with my back to MAC stuff. And now we need to chat about this one. Now this guy in the middle that I've just moved here is the one that I put all of the palettes in that I decided to keep over time. A lot of this is limited edition Essence and Catrice stuff actually, and some Urban Decay things. Now the Urban Decay things are all gonna stay. Yeah, we're not touching Urban Decay. So those are all gonna go in here because I like to not break up that part of my collection. So these I'm all going to keep. So that's the Naked 1, by the way, and the Born to Run, and then the Ultimate Basics, and then, who remembers this guy, the Deluxe Shadow Box. That's what we're dealing with here. So that's what's in here. The rest, I think some of these I may want to like keep for my eyeshadow palette declutter at the start of 2022, but a lot of this I know I can just get rid of. Like, why am I hanging on to some of these things? Yeah. So when it comes to, like, again, an OG product that I used to travel with all the time, this Smoke and Ice palette from Benefit. It's super old, super gross, but it's a bit like that Georgia powder where I'm like, this actually has memories attached to it. So that gets to stay. And the same goes for this Sleek palette. This is the Au Naturel, the original with the grid sort of embossing. This was my Naked 2 before the Naked 2 ever existed. That's how old this is. So this is taking me right back. So that gets to stay as well. However, this guy, Catrice's Yellow Submarine. I love this little quad. They don't do this anymore, but this is super old and it can just go. I mean, this is nothing too special. The same with this Catrice palette here, the London collection. They did this entire limited edition collection, and back in the day, if you were able to get your hands on a Catrice limited edition collection before it had sold out, you were the king of any sort of blog kind of situation. That's the time period when I bought this, and I think I reviewed this on my blog as well. Maybe I didn't, but I remember this being one of the first times that I was able to find a full display of a Catrice limited edition collection. By now, that sort of hype has died out, so why am I hanging on to this? I didn't even like the products in here. So that can go. And then this My Little Pony palette from Pure Cosmetics. I love this palette for what it taught me. And that's why I sort of put it in the Makeup Memories box, is because this is the palette that taught me how to play with color. By now, I feel a lot more confident wearing colorful shadows, but this palette was just the OG because it has the colorful shades that you'd like, but also enough neutrals to tie the look together, you could say. But I don't need to keep it around for that. I have the pictures up on my blog, so if you want to look at this, I can look at it anytime. This Marc Jacobs palette I kept around because it really reminded me of a trip that I was on a couple of years ago, but this again can go. It's just really old. I never think about it. The shades weren't me, so it can go. Same to the Catrice palette I just showed you. I'm going to get rid of this Essence palette. This is also from the Lights of Orient collection. And like with Catrice's London palette, this was like the first time I really reviewed an Essence limited edition collection. You can just tell from the way this shade looks how old and gross this thing is. So it just needs to go. And by the way, I don't mind old makeup. Like, I've got older eyeshadow palettes still in my collection for sure. If they still look okay, smell okay, things perform okay, I tend to just hang on to them. But this is where the makeup should go that's truly special to me and that I want to hang on to for the rest of my life. And that doesn't go for all of the products that I had in here before. Then I have a bunch of Essence and Catrice limited edition stuff, especially these Disney palettes. And I buy these for reviews and then I never use them again. So I thought that if I just keep one of these, I keep my favorite, then I have that and then it's okay. I have the reference point. I don't need to keep all of this. Like, it's just inflation, really. So of these, the Jasmine looked really pretty, but the quality wasn't great. So that one can go. The Ariel was actually my favorite. So this is the one I want to keep because this color story I think is stunning. So that's Essence doing a really good job. And then the Belle palette was really nice quality as well, but I don't think I'd ever wear these shades. So this can go. The Pink Glitter Show I kind of kept around because it has this really, really fun packaging. But I have the Silver Glitter Show that has very similar fun packaging. So I really don't need to keep this. And then from Catrice, they came out with these Villains palettes. So the Maleficent one was actually my favorite quality-wise. So that's what this palette looks like. But color story-wise, it wasn't my favorite. Like, the quality was the best out of these three. But I actually think the Ursula one has my preference because it's got those like purples. And I just really like how satisfying this looks. So this I'm going to keep. And then the Evil Queen palette. This is really stunning as well, but again, I didn't love the quality of this. So I'm going to get rid of these two, and I'm going to keep the Ursula palette for the memories. Then more Catrice here, the Disney Daisy Duck and Minnie Mouse collection. These are lovely little palettes, but I again reviewed them, used them in a video, and then I just don't do anything with them. So these can go. And then from the Villains collection, the Essence actually did the princesses, and I know that some people were also able to pick these up in the US. But of these, I just didn't really like any of them, to be quite fair. Like, color story-wise, this Villains and Princess collection was just very, very lacking. The Aurora one was still the best one, I felt, but I have so many of these rosy tone palettes that I really don't need to keep this around. The Snow White is really, really pretty, but again, don't need it. And the Ariel palette from the other collection was just far better than this one is. So that's why I'm keeping that one. And then I just have that one Villains palette, and I think that will be fine. All right, and then 2 palettes that I'm not sure whether I want to do anything with them in this video today, or whether I should keep them around for an eyeshadow palette declutter in 2022. Especially this one, the chocolate bar from Too Faced. This ended up in this drawer because it's not my favorite Too Faced palette, even though this got a lot of hype way back in the day. But because it's such an OG makeup product, I decided to kind of hang on to it. It was just always a bit deep for me, and I don't love the scented makeup, so that's why I'm like, But I kind of already know that if I were to declutter my eyeshadow palette collection in the next couple of months, that I would be getting rid of some other Too Faced palettes as well to sort of break up the collection and only keep the 2 or 3 that I truly love. So I kind of want to hang on to this until I do my actual declutter. So this is sort of gonna go, where is it gonna go? Not in here. I'm just gonna put it here so I don't forget about it. And then I have my KVD Beauty Monarch palette. And this, I'm always so torn about because I didn't use this a whole lot, but like some of the other products that I showed you, like this is quite an OG for me. And I remember, you know, buying this way back when KVD was like all the hype and everybody was buying this product. And I bought it and I had to go out of my way to buy this because I definitely did buy this on a trip. So I'm a bit like, that's why I want to keep it. Plus it's got the very stunning packaging. So I'm gonna keep this as like a makeup memory for sure because it does have something attached to it for me. But since I bought this palette during the same trip, I've decided I'm going to get rid of this. This was just never my favorite. This is the Sephora and Pantone Universe palette. This is not a palette you see a lot of people holding up in any sort of video anymore. But the problem with these shades was that they were very powdery and they just blended and dusted away into nothing. And then to make things even worse, the shimmer, like everything has shimmer and it's the same level of like satiny shimmer. I only ever really got the use out of that shade right there, that minty green. But I have so many other colorful shades, and since I bought this on the same trip as the KVD Beauty palette, I think I could just get rid of this, keep the KVD one, because this is also quite massive. It's really big. So that takes up a lot of space. So I think we did it, you guys. I was able to put all of my makeup memories just in this one drawer. I'm pretty happy. What do you guys think? What do you think I should do with these? Should I try selling them? Like this one for sure. Maybe I should hang on to the Embrazy. No, I'm not. I'm not sure what to do with these yet. Maybe there's someone who wants to take these off my hands, who I know. So I'll check that first. And then if not, I'm gonna sell them. But as I mentioned, I will be selling products only within the Netherlands because for how much I would want to ask for these, it's not going to be worth it to ship it to anybody. And international shipping is just incredibly expensive. So I'm terribly sorry if you're an international viewer and you would want to buy these off me. I'm not going to do that with the risk of losing these and getting broken in the mail. If you live in the Netherlands and you have interest in these, you know, maybe you can DM me on Instagram and then we can have a chat about sending these over. Because these I can just send off in a bubble envelope and it will be fine. Yeah, so a bronzer and a highlighter from Anastasia that I really don't need to keep around. So that's it for today, you guys. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. As I mentioned, declutter time is not until the springtime on this channel. There are loads of other videos that I want to do before I actually feel ready to do a declutter. I sort of have a bit of a system, you could say. So that's why I will be doing declutters again come 2022. But right now, this was just bugging me. Like, I was like, there's just too much here. I don't need to keep it all. And I don't want sort of to have this like second makeup collection filled with makeup that I'm not using, because that's essentially what this is. And I just didn't want to take it up like a huge amount of space. So I feel pretty happy with this. Like it's good. It's okay. So this is something manageable, something I can deal with. I have the products that I hold near and dear to my heart, but that I don't really use anymore. And I think that that's good. So Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week, so I hope you would like to stay tuned for more and that you have a really great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.